Hello, welcome you all to the TTN border-based show, East Eyes. And today with me, an independent journalist, SM Sujauddin. Welcome you to the TTN's special show, which is based on border issue. And thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for inviting me here.
And Suja, I have a first question, which is about what is the major struggle which is going to be deal with Cox's Bazar from Cox's Bazar to Myanmar in repatriation issue.
Thank you very much. If I say that, I used to say coxsbazar, it's not just
Yeah.
in city. It's kind of a Southeast Asian very important place there. So in that perspective, which is coxsbazar, it's close to the border, which is Rakhine, is the northern part of Myanmar. In this perspective, like what's happening inside the Rakhine, it's not just one front; it's a multi-front war. It's going on. So and also the world know about coxsbazar after 2017, especially like after the influx like 2017, which is one of the largest influx in human history, where 1.1 million people suddenly just displaced because of the known perpetrators and which has been dominating or making the cleansing for a long time, especially after the 1952. After the 1952 Act, that was the first time like Myanmar military denied, especially the Myanmar government, if I'm talking about, denied the Rohingya as a citizen. So in this perspective, like Cox's is a kind of say like is a diplomatic city. In this perspective, like to deal with the Myanmar, and it's very important, especially the Bangladesh. So the major struggle is to understand the border and also to understand the Myanmar. This is very important, and also is a struggle that
What do you think? Do we know actually Myanmar?
this is very important questions. Institutionally, though, we have a very long tie and we are very close with the border, and also this is only the border where we are not sharing with India, and this is only the border, but we don't have had that institutional archive and institutional history in sense of like academia, policy, and others. In our academia, the lot of people, they are very much aware about the different neighbors and also the other country. But whenever there is a Myanmar, so there's unknown because of language and because of their even the Myanmar, they are not that polite, especially they're not they don't have any kind of clear also understanding about the other neighboring country, how they will treat it. So regarding that, as you have a lack of educations regarding the Myanmar, because Myanmar is playing the multiple roles, and their language is one of the barriers, and most of the times is even they are erasing and eliminating the pure history of other ethnic minority. And we in the historical, we know that like there's a more than 50 minority groups are working there, especially which is sounds. But regarding the Rohingya issues, like whenever people talk about the Myanmar, and though they like talk, they used to talk as a friend, but whenever they act, it's kind of an enemy. So in sense of like for the civilians now, the fight between the civilians and Myanmar military, so it's
If
very
we talk
tough to
about that
understand the
fight,
Myanmar.
if we
It's
talk
very
about
tough to
that,
understand the Myanmar.
if we talk about that fight, which is just inter-conflict in Myanmar, which is affected also border in Cox's Bazar, what is the main reason it can be for this conflict between military and rebels group?
I think this is a more economical thing. So though people are treating this as a humanitarian crisis, I used to describe it as a Southeast Asian geopolitical crisis, where the trillions of investment of different international stakeholders and their stake and non-stakeholders, they are playing the vital roles inside in Rakhine. And if we talk about the Kaladan project, this is one of the major projects. Like there's a different international power players, and they really try to understand and also embed it, and also they're now only thinking about their interest, and also the Akia port. So if I say precisely, this is all about the more business and financial gain. This is the crisis, and this is an interest of international player.
What do you think? The processing of repatriation, is it become more difficult, or what will be the results of repatriation? What do you think?
I think the question of repatriation, it is Basically, whenever people talk about the repatriation, definitely people really talk about the safety security of the people. So especially the thing of repatriation, it has to be with the different actors, especially with the Myanmar governments or with the people who are the counterpart of Myanmar. So in this perspective, especially when the insurgency is going on, so it is important which counterpart basically Bangladesh will align with, and which basically who are the responsible, who will basically receive the people who will be repatriated from Bangladesh to the Myanmar. So this is very important. And also especially the Rakhine, there is a multiple actors, it's not one actor. Here Arkan Army is one of the actor, Janta is an actor, and also different insurgency group is an actor. So in these circumstances, it is very tough to say who will be the right person, but time will say who will be the right person.
And also there will be a alarming thing is the rebels groups are inviting Muslim Rohingyas to take arms and fight against Janta Army or the government of Myanmar. What do you think? Is it more alarming or serious for locals?
I think the world should all the time should be cautious about the collateral damage in sense of so that no civilians should be harmed. So even the last few weeks we have been observing through the international different news outlet that Myanmar military, they're forcing and they try to pursuing the Rohingya people to join their military forces. Even people from Mongdo, even people from Situe, and they're organizing and they are really forcing the people to fight against their own community. So in this perspective, I think every community now, they're trying to show their muscle power and they're try to continue their interest, whatever it is in Rohingya or whatever it's inside in Myanmar. So this is a kind of, as I say, this is a multi-front war. It's not only in between two political interest group. It's also the international drug dealers. It's also working there. So I think this is how it's quite a bit complex. As I say that, like if Myanmar military, Myanmar Janta forcing the Rohingya victims to join the Myanmar military, so definitely the other minority group, they will invite their own community to fight against the perpetrators.
Local peoples are dying in the border area. As you've seen that Husne Ara named Husne Ara just right by mortar shells and during gunfights, many people are dying. What do you think about that?
I think
especially locals from Bangladesh.
Yes, this is very unwanted, and this is alarming. Any civilians from Bangladesh counterpart, if anyone will be the victim, and this is a heinous crime ever Myanmar military done. So in this perspective, I think all the countries, though Bangladesh is a country where they show the respect to the neighbors, but the counterpart, the Myanmar, they should really understand, and world should really talk about the behave what Myanmar are doing. I think it's an alarming, and we should be very careful about our border.
What do you think? What will be the result of this war?
I think it's not a single word to say regarding the result. I think this is as I say, the multiple war. So the people all the time, as an independent journalist, this is a people interest, so that the civilian will be the own the game.
If rebels take the position in Myanmar, what will be the results of Rohingyas who will be repatriated in Myanmar? Will they be safe?
I think there's a matter of discussions, and if any kind of repatriation discussions, Rohingya should be on board. And second thing is, if it's not only the Rakhine, because there is a national unity government. So if the Arkan Army will be invited in the national unity government, and if national unity government will be formed, and that time definitely there is a Rohingya representative in the national unity government. So definitely the situation will be quite, easier than before.
Thank you so much once again for coming.
Thanks for inviting me.
That's all today. We talked about the repatriation issues and the interconflicts in Myanmar. And it's totally unpredictable because the war is getting more urgent. So that's all from today. Stay connected with TTN. Thank you so much.